Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am excited today to answer another interesting question. I guarantee you this one will be interesting. And that question is, can I request to be an apostle? The first thing I ask myself is, okay, who is an apostle, right? Who is somebody that the Bible considers an apostle? And if you read Luke chapter 6, verses 12 and 13, we see where this whole apostleship idea started, right? We see that Jesus Christ went on a mountain to pray, and he continued all night in prayer to God. And when it was day, he called unto him his disciples, and of them he chose 12, whom also he named apostles. So what we see here is that Jesus had many disciples, but of them, among them, he chose 12, and these were now called apostles. So there's clearly a distinction here. And in Luke chapter 12, verse 32, Jesus made this distinction again, where he said, "Ye are the little flock," versus the other sheep that he also referenced in John chapter 10, verse 16, which is all the other Christians, all the other great people who just don't happen to be apostles. And the other thing here is that Jesus Christ wasn't actually the one who chose the apostles, even though the Luke account may make it seem like, oh, he just called all his disciples and said, "You're an apostle, you're an apostle." Because in John chapter 17, verse 6, Jesus Christ, when talking to his heavenly Father, said that it was God who gave them, right? He said, "I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word." So we get the sense here that it's God who's actually the one who chooses them, not Jesus or anyone else. And to take this further, and this is where the answer to the question becomes a little bit more obvious, in Matthew chapter 20, verses 20 to 23, we see the mother of the Zebedees wanted to make, I would say, an honest request to Jesus. "These two sons of mine, I am requesting that they sit one on your right hand and another on your left." And rather than Jesus saying, "Well, you know what, you made a great request. It's my kingdom, so I do what I want. I'll do it for you." What he told her in reply was, "Ye know not what ye ask." And then he asked the two sons, right, "Are you able to be baptized with the cup that I'm going to be baptized with?" The disciples were like, "Of course we do that. Yeah, we'll do it." And then Jesus Christ was like, "Yeah, of course. Ye are going to be baptized with the baptism that I'm baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father." So clearly it's in God's hands. It's in God's prerogative. God has the authority to decide who is an apostle and what position they hold. Now, if God is the one who decides it, then it's not really by request. It's not like a job application where we can submit our resume and then God will review it and be like, this person is qualified, let him become an apostle. It's not really by qualification. Paul himself admitted he wasn't qualified to be an apostle. Imagine someone persecuting Christians, and yet God called him. Read 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 9 to 10, and 1 Timothy chapter 1, verses 11 to 17. Paul was speaking about that. So clearly it's God who chooses them, and it's not necessarily by request. And this is not the only thing, by the way, that God reserved the right to decide, for himself. If you read Matthew chapter 24, verse 36, after Jesus Christ gave the disciples a whole lot of signs to signal his return, he said that no man knoweth of that day and hour, but my Father only. That is, even he himself, Jesus, did not know that time when God would tell him to begin to rule in the midst of his enemies, according to Psalm 110, verse 2. He himself didn't even know that. So I'm just kind of giving you all this to broaden your mind a little bit on this issue of apostleship and how it's kind of a little bit of an exclusive thing by God's unquestionable and sovereign will. Some are chosen to be apostles, leaders of Christ's church, and then God gives them the ability, the capability to be able to do that job successfully. And we give credit to God for choosing from among us such ones to inspire us and lead us into his fold, lead us into the land of uprightness, as the psalmist would say. And everything I've said here isn't really different from the story of the Levites, right? Somebody may have wanted to be a Levite, or maybe asked, "Oh, can I serve in the priesthood? Can I be a Levite?" I mean, that's not really how it worked. It's either you were a Levite or you weren't. It was the Levites who, once again, by God's unquestionable will, said, "They are the ones who I have gifted to Aaron to serve in the temple," if we read Numbers chapter 8, verse 19. So it's either you were a Levite and thus you served, or you were not a Levite and so you didn't. But in essence, when we talk about being able to request to be an apostle, it's just not that kind of system. God, in wanting to provide companions for his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, has the prerogative to say, you know what, that person I think is fit for my son. If you read Revelation chapter 14, verses 1 to 5 and chapter 21, verse 9, they collectively form Jesus Christ's wife. Just as in those days, a man, a father, would want to bring a good wife for his son. So then he would begin to look around, and then when he sees a family that has raised a good daughter, he would then say, you know, I want that daughter to be a good wife for my son. It would be the families that would organize the marriages. They saw that as setting their son on a good start, right? Putting the best foot forward and stuff like that. So that's kind of what God wanted to do. And so it's his decision for who would be an apostle and who would serve at that level. So if you enjoyed this video and liked the different things that I said, then I would appreciate if you click the like button and also the subscribe button and the notification bell as well, so that when we come back with another video, you will be the first to arrive. Have a great day, and God bless you.